Hi, in today's video I wanted to raise the issue of conflicts of interest, real or perceived, and I like to stress the perceived part. And I wanted to use this article that I found on the website Offworld titled China Loves the Lingo of Games, written by Christina Su. And this is Christina Su's first article that she has written for the website Offworld. And when you go through this article, what you immediately notice is that there's a small promotion box promoting the author's Kickstarter campaign. And from the way it's written, I'm guessing it's either been written by Leigh Alexander or Laura Hudson. And it reads as follows. Ethnographer and organizational designer Christina Su is telling the stories of young creative people in China. You can support her work by pledging to multi-entry on Kickstarter. The campaign ends today. So if there are any this raises the ethical concern, are there any personal ties between these three parties? And if there are, then there of course needs to be a disclosure. So if we look through their social interaction they've had via Twitter, you'll notice it has been mostly been Christina Su since 2013, tweeting out, actually promoting the works of articles and the book written by Leigh Alexander, some articles by Laura Hudson, and just that alone isn't enough proof to just come to the conclusion that they are close personal friends. But then there are these other tweets, for example, this one here, where she invites both editors to work as her guests in through one of her office spaces that I'm guessing she either owns or rents in New York City. And this other one where she uses Leigh Alexander as a reference or as a showcase in one of the courses that she's managing. So to an outside observer, these last two tweets and even some of the the going back and forth interactions that they have had in these past few years might indicate that there is the potential possibility that they are closer than you would actually guess. But that's the issue of Twitter, isn't it? Without providing the full context between these interactions, you might in fact be reading more into it. But this all stems actually from the fact that, and this is a major problem that I have, is that video game journalists socially interact too much with the video game developers or the subjects that they report on. There simply isn't any barrier between the journalist and the subject, and no professional barrier. And so to any outside observer, this would seem to indicate, yeah, maybe there is a potential issue here, conflicts of interest. Maybe there is a need for a disclosure. Actually, the outside observer really doesn't know for a fact if they are friends or if they aren't friends. Well, I listened to one of TotalBiscuit's latest WTF, the WTF volume, on the game volume, and he does start off his video with disclosing that he has had friendly social interactions with the video game developer. But he doesn't see him, he's not friends with the video game developer, but he does disclose that this could be perceived as a conflict of interest. So I think in the end that if TotalBiscuit is able to do it, then I think that it should be possible that other journalists should disclose any conflicts of interest, even if they are perceived by an outside observer.
Before I begin, necessary disclosure. Mike Bithell is somebody I talk to on a fairly regular basis. He's even been on one of my shows, if you recall correctly, that big round table we did with indie devs, which I believe was called Indecent Exposure, if I recall correctly. It was a good name. We should do that more. Anyway, I kind of know the guy, at least over the internet anyway. Pretty sure I've not met him in real life. Maybe I was drunk, who knows. One way or the other, that's going to color my opinion of this game, no doubt. Because it's a real person. Simple as that. Thought you should know that. Important that you should know that. Ethical that you should know that.